Have you been struggling with being too harsh on yourself? Have you been feeling like your own mean boss lately? Or like a parent who lacks compassion? I want to share with you some gentle reminders that might help with that. Number one, notice your inner voice. How have you been speaking to yourself? When you make a mistake, what is the first thought comes to your mind? Is it something like, oh my god, I'm an idiot, why would I do that? Or is it like, it's okay, accidents happen every day? And if the answer was the former, I want you to ask yourself, would you speak that way to someone you love? No, really. Would you speak to your 5-year-old self that way? If you got the honor of being in the room with 5-year-old you again, and they dropped a plate and it broke, would you call them an idiot? Or would you say, it's okay, accidents happen. Let me teach you how to properly clean this up. I really hope it's the latter. Reminder number 2. Progress doesn't have to be loud. Your growth doesn't have to be 0 to 100 in a day. Growth can look like allowing yourself to rest when you typically overwork yourself. Growth can be saying no when you normally people please and do what everyone asks of you. You do not need to constantly be productive to be worthy of love. Allow yourself to be human. You are allowed to feel tired, unmotivated, upset. You're allowed to feel emotions. You are a human, not a robot. You are not going to be perfect 100% of the time because no human ever was or will be. Emotion is built within us. Do the best that you can every single day. And on the harder days, show yourself some compassion. You've been through a lot and you've made it through every hard day that you ever thought you couldn't survive. You survived it. And you are still here trying and pushing and making yourself better day by day. And the fact that you're someone who's watching this video tells me that's exactly who you are. Someone who cares about yourself and wants to take the steps to better themselves. And I admire you for that. Thank yourself for that. Because being kind to yourself does not mean demanding perfection from yourself 24/7. And there are so many things that come into play from our environment, our pasts, our hormones that dictate how we feel in a given moment. And you do not always have 100% of the control in your brain it might feel like you should have. Reminder number 3. Release the need to compare yourself to others. Your journey is your journey and theirs is theirs. Comparing your behind the scenes to somebody else's highlights only creates an unnecessary and unrealistic pressure within yourself. They got to where they are based on every experience that led up to that point in their life. The bad, the good, all the things you do not know about. And you got to this point in your life from all of your experiences that shaped you, your childhood, the choices that were made for you, the choices that you had to make. You never know the behind the scenes of their life. What really helps me is I trust that everything that's happening for me is in divine timing. Everything that's happening for me is happening exactly as it was planned to happen by the universe or by God, whatever you choose to call it. It's all happening in divine timing for your better good, whether you can see it right now or not. If you're going through a gut-wrenching heartbreak, you don't see that you're about to become the best version of yourself because of this heartbreak and the path of self-love that it leads you down. You just got fired from a job that you thought you were going to be with for much longer. And you don't see that right around the corner is a much better opportunity, your dream job even. So when something bad is happening to you and you're like, oh, look at everyone else's lives look so perfect right now. This is just building the storyline to get to your good part. The good could not exist without the bad. You would not be able to appreciate the great days, the beautiful, perfect days, without the crappy days, the days that you were miserable and thought you couldn't make it through. Because when you have one of those days followed up by a perfect sunshiny day, you appreciate it so much deeper than if every single day was perfect. It would become monotonous. Reminder number 4. Rest is not a reward. You do not need to earn rest by burning yourself out first, by pushing yourself way harder than you ever needed to. Yes, it's good to be productive sometimes, and it's also extremely important to take it slow sometimes, to rest, to relax, to sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. You don't always have to be rushing to the next thing and pushing yourself so hard. Celebrate where you are now. You might not be where you wanted to be, but you are most certainly farther than you were. There's a version of you in the past that was wishing for days like this, wishing for your universe to look like this, the things you have now, the experiences that you've had, these blessings that you had prayed for and you received. Do not forget to be grateful for them. Rest is a sign of self-love and self-care, and it is not a sign of weakness, and it is not a sign of giving up. And contrary to popular belief, it's not a sign of laziness. It's a sign that you care about yourself enough to have a balanced lifestyle. Because if you're on go, 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 go mode forever, you're going to crash and burn at some point. It is not good for your body. It is not good for your mind. It is not good for your being to be pushing on the gas pedal at all times. Sometimes it's good to take it slow and cruise. Enjoy the view while you're at it. Hey, life is beautiful. You get to be here. You're alive today. Not everyone made it here. Be thankful. Number 5, it's more important than we realize to set gentle boundaries with ourselves. Yes, boundaries are important in all aspects of our lives, but it is so important that we set gentle boundaries with ourselves. Know when to stop pushing. Know your bad habits and how to limit those and avoid them. Know what patterns lead you to downward spirals and create boundaries that make those much harder to access. Number 6. Speak to yourself with patience. Bring back your inner child in your mind. Would you talk to them that way? Would you speak to your own child that way? Would you speak to your closest friends this way? Would you speak to your most beloved family members this way? I think not. Do not speak to yourself that way then, because you deserve the exact same level of love, kindness, and compassion that you would be willing to offer your loved ones. You are just as valuable and important and worthy of love as they are. So act like it. Treat yourself that way. Don't ask yourself, what's wrong with me? Think, what led me to feeling this way? How can I make myself feel more loved through this? How can I make myself feel more supported? What can I do right now to make this easier for myself? Do not make self-deprecating jokes. Your subconscious does not know if the things you say are true or false. It just hears it and it accepts it. So when you make a joke like, oh, I'm so stupid, or me not being able to think of a self-deprecating joke, or, ugh, yeah, I'm so bad at that. Your subconscious is just gonna accept that as the truth, and it's going to be the truth. Eliminating self-deprecating talk was the first step I took in my self-love journey that truly made a difference. It's not funny, and when you're in a room with people and you make a self-deprecating joke, it makes the room uncomfortable. Nobody knows how to respond to that sort of thing. Sure, you might be bad at something, but instead you can think, oh, I'm so excited to learn and get better at this. Or yeah, that's just not really my thing. It doesn't have to be that you're bad or you are negative. And shifting your self-talk to only speaking of yourself highly, lovingly, and kindly will do wonders for the way that you think about yourself and the way you feel about yourself, and in turn the way that you feel in the world. You're gonna feel loved, you're gonna feel kind, because that's the way you speak to yourself. So then it is true. Number 7. Celebrate your small wins. Every win is a win. Getting out of bed when it feels impossible, that's a win. Letting yourself try again at something you were scared of, that's a win. Choosing yourself even when it's uncomfortable, but you know that that's what's best for you, that is a big win. Celebrate these wins. There is a version of you that had no courage to do these things, and you're doing them now, and that is worth celebrating. I am such a fan of just celebrating every chance I get. Life is so much more fun when you're celebrating, right? We look forward to those opportunities when it's a birthday, Christmas, Valentine's Day, whatever. When you have an excuse to celebrate, we look forward to it. But I live this way every single day. It's like, oh my gosh, today I got to drive the car I used to want so bad. And today I got to wake up in the house that I used to dream of having. And today I spoke kindly to myself. I took a cold shower even when I was dreading it, and I felt so good afterwards. Today I took myself to the gym. Even though I felt uncomfortable and weak, I still went. And I improved my strength, and I improved my self-image, and I improved my courage, and I proved that I could do hard things. Baby steps are still steps. You are still advancing forward, and you deserve recognition for that. So allow yourself to have it. Number 8, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not knowing that situation would be that way. Forgive yourself for outgrowing old environments. Forgive yourself for the way you used to treat yourself, because you're growing and you're improving and you're kind to yourself now, and you recognize your need for love from you. The most important person that you should be receiving love from is you, and you're finally offering yourself that. Forgive the version of you that didn't know how important that was and didn't know how to do it. We learn as we go in life. We make plenty of mistakes just because we didn't know better back then. Forgive yourself for your past mistakes, because that version of you was doing the best that they could with the knowledge that they had. And just because you would go about it differently now does not make them stupid, does not make them unworthy. You had to be in that position to get where you are now, so you should be thankful. You should look at that version of yourself lovingly. They got you to where you are now. They did it even though it was more challenging for them because they had less knowledge and less experience. And they did it. So forgive yourself. Number 9, kindness creates change. You will not become better through shame. You will not become better through self-hatred. You will prosper from self-love, from kindness, from your patience and compassion. Do things out of love for yourself rather than hatred for yourself. Don't go to the gym because you hate your body and want to change it. Go to the gym because you love and respect your body, and you want to treat it the best that you possibly can. And you want to create the opportunity for your body to be as capable as it can. You want to allow yourself to reach your highest potential, and you're doing it through love. You will only become better by feeling safe within yourself, by feeling supported and understood and loved by the one person whose opinion matters most, yourself. You know, I heard this saying earlier today. I was listening to a podcast and somebody had mentioned this. If you had plans to hang out with your friend in the morning, and they asked you, hey, could you maybe leave your house a few minutes early and pick something up from the store for me on your way here? I'm willing to bet that you would be like, yeah, no problem, of course. It wouldn't be a nuisance to you. So then you should treat yourself in the same way. You should allow yourself to wake up an hour early so that you can cook a nourishing breakfast for yourself, or so you can take that workout class and to show up for yourself. Because if you would go out of your way and create time for your loved ones, then you could do exactly that for yourself. And you should be doing exactly that for yourself. A thought that I have is, I'm sure you didn't come into this world feeling these negative thoughts about yourself. You came into this world a pure being, a sweet little innocent angel. And as you grew up, you might have heard things from other people. You might have heard the way your mother talked to herself. She felt her arms looked fat in that picture. Oh, so don't post it. She thinks she looks ugly. That ingrained into your little brain. When you're a child, your brain can't filter things out like that. And that ingrained into your brain. So now when you see your arms, you pay attention to that. Do my arms look fat? Do I look ugly in this? Should I even post this? You went to middle school and kids are mean in middle school. That's just what happens. Everyone is miserable and projecting it onto everyone else. And those kids might have been like, your forehead is humongous. You could land a plane on that. When you had literally never thought of your forehead before. You had never noticed it in such a way. And now, all you can see when you look in the mirror is that big fat forehead, when in reality, you have a perfectly normal forehead, and that kid was just having a bad day, or that kid just wanted to make other people laugh by putting someone down. And you let that stick with you till today. It's been how long? Why are you gonna let some middle schooler dictate the way that you still think about yourself? Think about that. All of the negative thoughts that you have about yourself, all the insecurities, question it. Where did this come from? Where did this originate? Where's the first time I had this thought? And I guarantee you, it is from comparing yourself to someone else or somebody else making some rude comment that has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their state of mind. I want to end this off by saying you are going to be with you for the rest of your life. You are the only person who is going to see you every single day until your deathbed. Don't you want to have a good relationship with that person? Don't you want to love and respect and care for that person deeply? Being your own best friend is the way to go. Because you're going to be with you forever. You don't have a choice. Sometimes I need to hear these things, which is why I create these sorts of videos, is so that I have something to remind myself and I can uplift you at the same time. And that fulfills me so deeply. I love it. I hope that you leave this wanting to be kinder to yourself and having some tools to do that. I want you to question every thought that comes into your brain. And if it's negative, rewrite the script. If you have a negative thought about yourself, combat it with a positive one. Appreciate the assets that you do have. Appreciate your unique skills and your unique beauty. You are the only person who will ever be you, and that is your superpower. You are the only you that there is or ever will be. So love it. Love yourself. Thank you for showing up here, and thank you for showing up for yourself. I will see you next week.